Welcome everyone to episode 18 of Something in the Wild. I'm your host Tyler Smith, and today we're going to be covering a couple different topics. Memorial Day, had a great Memorial Day weekend. Went on this awesome float trip. It was amazing. I'll tell you all about it. Talk about my turkey season, how it ended up, and I'll also be talking about my plans for the coming months, because now that turkey season's over, not a whole lot of hunting's going to be going on until next September. Elk, right? Elk and deer. So I'm looking forward to it. I think this will be a good episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. I'm out in this beautiful little farm, corner of a farmer's field here. I'm not sure what they got planted. Not a whole lot. Definitely looks like some hay, and just kind of letting the grass grow back here. I'm not sure if they got stuff planted in these dry patches, but yeah, I'm right on this field edge, and doing some scouting for deer. You know, I got my binoculars. I think there was already a deer blowing at me behind me, but hopefully, I get to see some here and get to talk to you guys while it's going on. So, like I said earlier in the intro here, I want to talk about a couple different things. Probably be a short episode, nice and relaxed. I, just wanted to come out here in the quiet, just chill out and just have a good time. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about was my Memorial Day weekend. So we had a phenomenal Memorial Day weekend. It's myself, Sammy, my best buddy from high school, and his girlfriends, Brady and Sarah. They came out, went camping with us, had a good old time, went on a float trip. And that's what I want to talk about, is this float trip. I'm so caught up on it since it happened. It was literally so much fun, and Sammy's probably pissed at me for talking about it so much, but I'm telling you, man, we went out there. We went up north, Clarion River, this stretch of the Clarion River, and we did not see a single soul while we were out there. And I probably wouldn't tell you where we put in if you gave me $10,000, because that spot just so pretty, so beautiful. No commercialization. There weren't a bunch of people out there. There weren't a bunch of, the river was very, very empty. And by empty, I'm literally talking, we saw, how many people we see? I think we saw like two groups of people in an 7.5 mile float. Two people in a 7-mile float. And those two people, they weren't even floating. They were just hanging out on the side of the river. So just, it was so beautiful. And to find a place like that nowadays, all these places are so crowded. There's so many people that flock out there, especially Memorial Day weekend. One of the most recreated holidays of the entire year, and to be able to have that stretch of river by just us by ourselves, very, very special. I was very happy with that, and it really just you can't help but be patriotic and just be thankful for the sacrifices that have been made to make that possible. It might sound sappy and whatever, but you can't forget that that's the reason why we have that holiday, why we can enjoy those public lands. It's really, really incredible, and it really puts into perspective whenever you have those kinds of experiences on the water, whenever you have those experiences, just letting the river take you, giving yourself time to think, and just letting go and just relaxing. I think that's kind of the reason why I'm so tied up about this, been thinking so much about it, is just because it was just so beautiful, and so amazing. And I'm here to say and remind you that places like that still exist where you can go out and you can be by yourself, be with your group and not run into other people. They still exist. A lot of people don't think they do, but I can guarantee you they do, because I had a first-hand account last weekend. Just absolutely incredible. I wish I took my camera and videoed a little bit more, but honestly, the first time experiencing that, I was pretty glad that I wasn't videoing. Just taking the scenery in, taking it all in, and being very present is something that I definitely don't do well enough. Sometimes I get a little caught up in the future and stuff like that, but that was a very, very cool moment for myself, for my family, for my friends. It was really, really fun. All right. Well, I don't want to belabor that too much. I think I got my point across. Absolutely gorgeous time that we had. Now I want to pivot a little bit more towards my turkey season. So actually, Pennsylvania turkey season just wrapped up May 31st, and oh boy, one more year without a turkey. I've been turkey hunting for 3 years, and I want to preface this by saying that no one in my family has my dad has turkey hunted a little bit, but I don't think he ever really went in the spring. He has never really went like calling for them and doing like the traditional type of turkey hunting that you see nowadays. He was more just like walking through the woods, and if there was an opportunity to take a turkey, he would. It wasn't wasn't super solely focused on hunting turkeys and calling turkeys in. So I've been learning as I've gone. I think I've been getting closer and closer. Put a lot of time in the woods this year. So much time, man. I went out every single weekend. Driving to Ohio a few times and spending the days out there, and just not being able to get one it's a little bit heartbreaking, to say the least. A little bit heartbreaking, because I feel like I see them all over the place and just can't figure out how to get them close enough. There were a couple times I was very close. One time specifically it was this past week. So I went out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday morning. Those were the last 3 days of the season. So I was like, well, I haven't gotten a turkey yet. Might as well just go all out and, go out those last 3 mornings, because I, obviously had to work those days. So I'm like, all right, full send in it. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday, heard a bunch of turkeys, weren't able to get them to come close. Some of them were off the property that I was hunting. And, there was a couple, but they were far away and not gobbling consistently. Weather wasn't the best. It was a little cloudy, a little bit cold. So that's what I blame that on. Now, Thursday was very, very exciting. I got out there early in the morning. It was not a cloud in the sky. Sun was coming up, and birds were just gobbling all over the place. I was walking down this gas line, hearing turkeys gobble. I wasn't even using my locator call. I could hear them gobbling wherever they were at. So eventually what happened was I was walking down this gas line, heard one, pow, right next to me, probably 50 yards away, in the woods a little ways. In the woods down this hill to the left side. So I was like, okay, like this is my opportunity here. He's right there, still in the roost. So I back off the gas line. I go on the opposite side of the woods, put my decoy in the gas line, a little hen decoy, and I sit down there, let him gobble a few more times until he flies down. Then I start calling, soft clucks, boop, 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 real light, real soft, just trying to get him to come in. He was responding. He was coming closer. Pretty soon, he let off right on the edge of the gas line. I still couldn't see him because there's real thick vegetation. He was right on the edge of the gas line. He was probably 25 yards away from me. I was like, oh boy, this is it. And as I'm sitting there, I'm waiting. Then all I hear is a deer is literally standing right in the gas line, right next to that turkey. And I think that deer saw my decoy, knew that something was up, and just was sounding off the alarm, just every breath, and busted off, just took off. Didn't hear the turkey again. I'm assuming he probably spooked the turkey away, and that was a bummer, Having that turkey so close, I know he was coming in. I know if he saw my decoy, he probably would have came the rest of the way. But to have that deer come in right at the same time that I was there, man, it's a little bit unlucky. But also, now that I'm thinking it over again in my head and kind of replaying that situation, what I should have done is I should have gotten closer. I should have went into that wood line towards the turkey, maybe backed off a little ways and then went in. But man, I don't know. I mean, if you guys have any recommendations, any of you guys are turkey hunters and have any recommendations as to what I should have done, I will gladly listen. But yeah, man, it was fun though. It was exciting. I was probably around like 7:15 or so. Stayed out there until 8 o'clock. Didn't see anything. Had to go back and end up going to work. And then that opportunity squandered. Went back the next day, Friday morning, last day of the season. Didn't hear a single gobble. And I was like, well, at least I had a good opportunity the second to last day. So it was enjoyable. I had a good season. I mean, getting out in the woods, enjoying your time outside, enjoying pursuing this beautiful, beautiful bird, makes these really loud sounds in the morning. It's pretty awesome, and I can't complain that I didn't get anything. I really can't, although it would have been really nice to bag my first bird. So guess I'll have to wait until year 4. And year 4, hopefully, put a little bit more time in, a little bit more effort. Not saying that I didn't put any effort in, but maybe just a couple more scouting trips, maybe some designated scouting trips where I spend the whole weekend out there, looking for birds, finding birds before the season opens, because Pennsylvania's season, well, first of all, you can't hunt on Sundays, which sucks. I know there's some talks about, possibly changing that up, but that is terrible. Not being able to get in the rhythm of things, only being able to go out one day of the weekend, it's rough to get in that rhythm where, okay, I can start figuring out what these birds are doing. It's like, okay, especially for someone that works full time, okay, I get to go out Saturday, one morning out of the whole week, and then I gotta wait 7 more days until I can go out again. It's just, it's kind of unfortunate. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think it's limiting a lot of people, limiting a lot of hunting opportunities for some people. So hopefully, we can get that changed here soon. I know there's been talks about it for, it seems like 10 years, but I think they're getting closer and closer, which is good to hear. So yeah, that was my turkey season. It was fun, enjoyable, love spending time outside. Got a bunch of good deer scouting in for this upcoming fall. Bunch of good spots picked out, I think. Bunch of good signs that I saw early in the season. So, and also whenever I was out in Ohio, I picked out some pretty good spots and picked up some good knowledge. So I'm very, very, very excited for that. And piggybacking off of the end of that conversation, deer hunting. So just found out that I drew my tags. I'm super, super excited. Got an elk tag, a deer tag. Probably shouldn't say where it's at yet. But yeah, I'm very, very stoked for it. It's one of my favorite things, man, is to go out west and hunt for elk and mule deer. I've only been out a couple times, but those couple times, it's just those experiences kind of change who you are as a person, especially me as a hunter. I don't know. I thoroughly enjoy spending time out in the wilderness, far, far away from people, and to be able to go out there, areas that have so much public land, so much area you can hunt. It's like kind of a magical experience where you really learn a lot about who you are as a person. Hiking up and down these mountains, your resolution skills, trying to figure out, solve problems, because not everything's going to go perfect on these trips, right? You're going to have gear that fails. You're going to have crappy weather. You're going to have uncooperative game. So being able to overcome those obstacles and learn from your mistakes, I think is really, really enjoyable for me. So that's kind of where my effort's going to be going here for the next couple months. I mean, obviously going to go fishing, do some walleye fishing, some bass fishing, some pan fishing, but yeah, a lot of my free time is going to be spent hitting the computer, hitting onX, and trying to put some plans in place for my western hunts, because the commitment to go out there, first of all, the preference point commitment, being able to plan years in advance to buy these preference points, buy these bonus points, and having the foresight to invest in these tags that you're going to draw, that's an investment right there. The time spent researching is an investment. The monetary value of the tag is an investment. The monetary value of the actual license itself is an investment. The gas that it takes to drive out there, the drive itself, the time that it's going to take for you to drive out there. I mean, all of this stuff really adds up in the long run. So spending the time now to develop a solid game plan that you're very happy about, very confident in, is crucial to have success whenever you do go out there. I know last year I spent all of my time scouting for elk, and my mule deer license was kind of like a side thing. It was not the main goal. Now I'll be going out in September for elk, and I'll be going out for the mule deer rut. So end of October time frame, we're going to be going out there. So going out there twice to hunt two different styles, which is going to be interesting. But I'm super excited to be able to learn more about mule deer. I think I learned a lot about elk last year just based on like the time that I spent researching elk, researching their behaviors, their habitat, their bedding areas, their feeding areas, their water sources, wallow areas, travel corridors, things like that. Now, obviously am going to continue to learn about that sort of stuff, but then also spending some time learning about mule deer and how they interact with the landscape, what kind of foods they prefer, what areas they like to visit. It's going to be really, really enjoyable. I absolutely love the process of learning about this kind of stuff. People always say trust the process. It's really what you got to do. I mean, ever since I played baseball, I was just super into the process of getting better, practicing, spending time perfecting your craft, because that is where you learn the most about not only yourself, but the animals you're pursuing, becoming a better woodsman, becoming a more well-rounded hunter, and just having an overall more enjoyable experience while you're out there. I always say, I've always told my teammates this whenever I did play baseball, that preparation breeds confidence. If you're prepared to If you have plans A through Z through double Z dialed in, and you know exactly what you're going to do if plan A fails, you're going to, all right, plan A failed, we got to pivot to go to plan B. Plan B fails, pivot, go to plan C. Plan C is not an option, boom, D, and so forth. So if you have that preparation, you're going to enjoy your time so much more. That goes for elk hunting, goes for mule deer hunting, goes for turkey hunting, goes for whitetail hunting. You're just going to have a really good, enjoyable experience if you take care of the stuff that you can control before you end up going out there. That's kind of the main point, the crucial aspect of this sort of planning, the planning of these hunts and things like that. And it can also go for planning, a fishing trip or a camping trip. Sammy and I, we just got a camper, which I'll share obviously some more content with you guys about that. But The first weekend, Memorial Day weekend, we weren't prepared worth shit. I mean, we still had a good time, but you know, it makes it better whenever you have all of your stuff dialed in, whenever you have everything taken care of, you have thought of every contingency plan, and once that's done, once that planning's done, that's when you can enjoy your effort and just sit back and chill out and let things play out, because you know how you're going to react to certain situations. Now, I guess that was a long-winded way of saying be prepared for if you're going to be going outside, if you're going to be doing that sort of stuff, just be prepared. But I'm really, really looking forward to it. And, you know, like I said, I think this was going to be a short episode. I appreciate you guys listening. If you've listened this far, let me know in the comments. You know, give me a comment or something that you want me to talk about. You know, I'm open to talk about anything. Looking forward to hopefully getting some replies and seeing, you know, if there's something that I'm not covering that you guys want to listen to, want my opinion about. I'd definitely be interested in entertaining that. So leave some in the comments below, something you want me to talk about, and I'll be sure to get to it. But I appreciate you guys listening along, and make sure to keep it wild, everyone. Thank you.